It says parallel lines and transversals. So the first blank we're going to fill in, if my pen would work, says if two lines do not intersect, oh my goodness. Sorry, my pen is not wanting to work today very well. Okay, intersect. Then they are either parallel or what we call skew, okay? If two lines do not intersect, then they are what we call parallel or skew, and I'm going to show you the difference with these two markers. And everybody knows that intersecting means touch, correct? Okay, so parallel lines look like this. These are in the same plane, and they do not touch. If I'm talking about skew lines, they look like this. They are not in the same plane. They still do not touch, but they go in different directions. So everybody look at my markers. This is skew. This is parallel. Okay, parallel, skew. Everybody see the difference? Okay. So if we look at this first little box here, it's talking about parallel and skew. Parallel lines, again, are coplanar. They are in the same plane, and they do not touch. The key word here is coplanar. So in this picture, the top line, line JK, is parallel to line MN. Now, what I need you to notice are the little markings on this, because sometimes they won't tell you they are parallel. They will give you those markings. Does everybody see on my screen the pink arrows? Pink. It looks pink to me. Yours aren't. Mine are. Yours are black, right? Yours has arrows on them, correct? Those arrows are the notation to tell you that the lines are parallel. Okay, also, if you look right here, this says line JK is parallel to line MN. Those two little lines that are right next to each other, that is the abbreviation for parallel. So when you see that, that's what that means. Is everybody okay with that? All right. Then over here to the right, it's talking about skew lines. Skew lines are not coplanar. And if you look at that picture, it's kind of like what I showed you with my markers. Okay. Line L is going this way, line M is going this way. They're not going in exactly the same direction, but they also do not touch. That's how you tell the difference between skew and parallel. And then you also have parallel planes that do not touch. Give me an example of parallel planes in this room. The ceiling and the floor, or opposite walls, right? Those are parallel planes. They would never touch. All right. Everybody good so far? All right. Then a line, the next blank underneath all of that, the line that intersects two or more lines in a plane at different points. Okay, so let me show you here. I have two lines. These two lines are in a plane. The one line that intersects those in two different points, so like this, that green line up here, is called a transversal. Okay, a transversal. So if we look at that diagram below, not, well, I guess it's the same diagram on either one. Which one line, line T, Q, or R, touches two other lines? Look at your picture down below in that box. Which line touches two lines, T, Q, or R? T. Okay, so in that line, or in that picture, line T is a transversal. And it is a transversal of the other two lines, lines Q and R. So we should be filling in all these blanks, okay? And then look at that sentence there. It says that line T forms a total of 8 angles with line Q and R. And these angles have certain names. They're called angle pairs, and each one has a certain name. Okay, so I'm going to draw this picture on the board because it's easier for me to point to that than it is for me to point to it on the screen and make it big enough. So if you will give me just a second, let me do that. Make it big enough so I can actually see it. Okay, so here's line Q. Here's line R. And line T. And then I have a bunch of numbered angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so the first thing we're going to discuss, or the first angle pair we're going to discuss, is what we call interior angles. Or well, actually, these aren't pairs yet. We want to just talk about where they are. Interior angles are angles that lie in between my two lines. Okay, so here are my two lines right here, Q and R. What angles lie in between these two lines? What numbers? In between. 4, 3, 5, and 6. Okay, so those are all in between. So those are called interior. And then you have your exterior, which lie on the outsides of the lines. What numbers lie on the outsides?
1, 2, 8, 7.
1, 2, 8, and 7. Okay. And then we have our same side, interior and exterior. What that means is the same side of the transversal. So looking here, what all four angles are on the same side of this? Which ones am I not covering up? 2, 3, 6, and 7. And then also on the other side would be 1, 4, 5, and 8. Okay. So I want to look at the picture, and we want to look at this same side interior. Okay, that name tells us all. Same side interior. So I want two angles that are in between my lines, but on the same side of my transversal T. And there are two pairs here. In between my two lines, but on the same side of the transversal, starting on this left side. What two angles are inside, but on the same side? 4 and 5. Okay, those are called same side interior angles. What about the other side? 3 and 6. Okay, and it even says so in the box next to it. Angles 4 and 5 are same side interior angles, and so are angles 3 and 6. Now, the same thing happens if with the exterior angles, but this book doesn't really mention it, but it still is something that happens. So if I'm looking on the outside of my lines, which two angles are on the same side but on the outside here? 2 and 7, okay? And then what about the other side? 1 and 8, okay? So make a little note of that right down here because it's not included on our paper. We want to go same side exterior, and that again would be angle 1 and angle 8, and then also angle 2 and angle 7. Okay. So the same relationships, which we'll get to in a couple of days. Same side interior and same side exterior have the same relationship. You just have to pay attention to where they are. The words tell you same side of the transversal, in between the lines or outside the lines. Everybody okay with those? All right, now over here to the next side, we have some angle pairs. The next one is called alternate interior angles. Okay, alternate interior angles. So those are going to be angles that are in between my lines, but opposite sides of the transversal. What would be alternate interior to angle 4? 6, okay. In between the lines, but on opposite sides of my transversal. So the first pair would be 4 and 6. What would the other pair be? 3 and 5. Alternate interior angles. Okay, again, look at your picture. 3 and 5 are a pair. And then so are 4 and 6. And it says it right here. Then we also have alternate exterior angles. Those are going to be on the opposite sides of the transversals, but on the outsides of our lines. So starting here, what's alternate exterior to angle 1? Which one matches what?
7.
Angle 7, okay. And then what about 2? 8. All right, alternate exterior, 1 and 7. And then 2 and 8, okay? 1 and 7, 2 and 8. Those are alternate exterior angles. The names tell you where they are. Alternate means opposite sides of the transversal. Interior is in between the lines. Exterior is outside the lines. Is everybody okay with that? All right, and then the last one is what we call corresponding angles. And these are in the same position, same side of the transversal, and on the same side of the lines. Okay, so I'm going to start with angle 1. Which angle is in the same position as angle 1, but on line R? Which one is in the same position, meaning top left, as on angle R? Which is top left on angle R? 5, okay? So angle 1 and angle 5 is a pair of corresponding angles. They are in the same position. All right, then if I look at 2, which one is in the same place, top right, but on line R? Top right. 6. Okay, so 2 and 6 are a pair of corresponding angles. What about 3? What's on the bottom right, but down on line R? 7. So 3 and 7 are a pair. And then what's the only pair left? 4 and 8. Okay, so those are called corresponding angles. And tomorrow we will get into some relationships with all of these when our lines are parallel. Okay, but that's not going to happen until tomorrow. What we've got to learn today is just to identify same side interior, same side exterior, alternate interior, alternate exterior, corresponding. We need to be able to identify all of those. Is everybody okay with that? All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at this picture down here, that box. Does everybody see your box? We are identifying each of the following using the cube shown. Assume that lines and planes that appear parallel or perpendicular are parallel and perpendicular. So we want to know for A, the first thing I want to know is all lines that are skew to BC. Okay, so here's BC. All lines that are skew, that means they do not touch, but they also do not go in the same direction as BC. Okay, so looking at that cube, what would be one line that doesn't touch BC, but also is not in the same direction? DE would work, okay. Let me write that down. So line DE. That's this one here. What else? AF is also going to be one that works. Hold on. Let me write AF. All right. And you said what? EH? So EH goes this way. It's still not the same direction as BC, but it also does not touch. So what else would also be skew? Like EH, what's kind of the same? FG or GF, either one you want to call it. And would CD be skew? No, because it touches it, right? BA would also not be skew. What about AD? What would AD be to it? Not skew, but parallel. Okay, so make sure skew is not touching but going a different direction. So those are the only 4 in that picture that are skew to BC. All right, let's look at the next one. We want all lines parallel to EH. Here's EH, maybe. Okay, so give me a line that's parallel to that. GF, okay. Or FG, remember the letters, the order of the letters doesn't matter. What else is going to be parallel? AB, and then what else? DC. AB. And DC or CD, just as long as you have those 2 letters, it doesn't matter the order of them. Make sure you're putting your line symbol above it. Are there any... This thing is not wanting to work today. Are there any other lines that are parallel in that box? No. All right, and then the last one on this wants us to name all planes parallel to DCH. So let's look at DCH. I'm going to highlight it. Here is plane DCH. How many other planes would be parallel to that? BAF, yes, or any combination of those letters. Okay, this is the only plane in this cube that is going to be parallel to it. You can call it BAF, BAG, GFA, BGF, any combination of three of those letters. Everybody okay with that? All right. Now what we have to do is we have to identify some angles. So let's look at our picture. Okay, it's a little bit different than the picture on the other side. We want to look at angles 4 and angle 5, and here are our choices. They are either alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, or corresponding. Okay, so let's start with angles 4 and 5. Angle 4 and angle 5. Alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, or corresponding. What do we think? Interior, but are they same side or alternate? Alternate, yes. Okay, alternate interior angles, and I usually abbreviate. I just put Alt-INT. Okay, that way I don't have to write the whole word. So what we want to do is we want to go through each one of these pairs, B through H, and decide, are they alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, or corresponding. So go ahead and try B. Look at angles 3 and 7. Are they alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, or corresponding? Again, we are looking at angles 3 and 7. Here's the first question. Are they both inside my two lines? No. Are they both outside of my two lines? No. There's one of each, one inside and one outside. Angle 3 is in the bottom left of the 4 angles at the top. Where is angle 7? It's also in the bottom left. So what would that make those? If they're in the same place, we call it corresponding. So what I want you to do is go ahead and draw a C and D. Figure out what angle 3 and 5 are, and then angle 1 and angle 8. Look back at the front. Let yourself find what they look like. Again, we're going to add more to this tomorrow about what happens to these relationships when we have parallel lines. So we've got to make sure we can identify them just regularly before we move on to that. Looking at angles 3 and 5, and then at angles 1 and 8. Your options are alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, or corresponding. Looking at 3 and 5 again. Here's 3, maybe. Here's 3, here's 5. What do you think? Are they both in between or both outside? They're both in between, right? So there's some sort of interior. Are they same side or alternate? Same side. With same side, I usually just do SS and then either INT for interior or EXT for exterior. You can write out same side if you want to, but I tend to abbreviate. As if you see me do S-S, that's same side. All right, what about 1 and 8? Look at 1 and 8. First of all, are they interior or exterior? They're exterior. Are they on the same side or opposite sides? Opposite. So that makes them alternate exterior. Yes. If they are both interior, both in between our lines, then it's either same side or alternate, okay? Depending on if they're on the same side of the transversal or opposite sides. If they are both on the exterior, then they are going to be either alternate exterior or same side exterior. And if one of them is on the exterior and one of them is on the interior, it is most likely corresponding. So go ahead and, if you haven't already, do E, F, G, and H. Tell me what angle pairs each one of those are. E, F, G, and H. We're doing E, F, G, and H now. So what do we think about 1 and 7? Somebody. Same side exterior. Yes, same side exterior. They are both on the outside and they are on the same side of the transversal. What about 3 and 6? Alternate interior, yep. All right, let's see. What about 2 and 7? What are those? Mm-hmm. And then 2 and 8? What are those? Interior, exterior? Exterior, yep. So far, so good. Last thing is that last little picture. I want you to do the same thing. Oh, actually, no. We got to do something a little bit different. It asks us to identify the transversal connecting each pair of angles in the photo, and then we want to classify what kind they are. So let's start with 1 and 8. Okay. Here's how we tell what is my transversal and what is not. Does everybody see angle 1 and angle 8 in your picture? Kind of hard to see there. I'm trying to see what color. So angle 1, can you see the black that's showing up on the TV? Is there. Okay. Angle 8 is there. What is the one line that touches both? F. That's my transversal. They each sit on 2 separate lines, D and E, but the one line that they share is line F. So F is going to be my transversal. Line F. And then what kind of angles would they be? Alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, same side exterior, or corresponding? Corresponding. Okay, so I'll write that as well. So that's what I want you to do on the other 2. Identify what the transversal is, and then also what angle pair they are. So take a minute and do those last 2. Angle 3 and 6, look at 3 and 6. Decide what is the one line that they both touch. And then tell me what kind of angles are they? Are they alternate interior, alternate exterior, same side interior, or same side exterior? Name the one line they both touch. That's the transversal. And then tell me what type of angle pair they are. What's The one line they share, that's your transversal. And then what type of angle? All right, if we're looking at angles 3 and 6, oops. Here's angle 3. Here's angle 6. What's the one line they share? Okay, so line G is their transversal. And then what kind of angles are they? They are exterior. Are they on the same side or alternate exterior? Yep. All right, and then the last one, let me erase my markings. Angle 6 and angle 7 are here. What's the one line they share? E. So line E is the transversal. And then what kind of angles are they? Same side. Would you say interior or exterior? Hold on, just a second. Let me get my. Let's blow our picture up. So if this is my transversal, then G and F are my other two lines. Are 6 and 7 in between G and F or on the outside? In between. So it would be same side, interior. Yeah.